Hey everybody. So I don't usually get on here too much and show my face, but I figured, some people will say when they're making videos that it's good for the viewers, that they feel like that you're in the room with them and it helps them, but I'll try to do it as much as I can. But anyway, so I wanted to get on here real quick before I got my day going and try to help somebody, because there has to be somebody out there that's really suffering, and that this could just touch one person, and maybe it'll touch more, which I'm hoping that it does. But I don't know what any of you are going through, but let me just tell you something. With God, all things are possible, and I've seen the impossible since I've been 13 years old take place, and nobody can tell me otherwise. Not one person. And let me tell you something, if you're afraid of what people are going to think, if you're dedicated to Jesus 100% or whatever the case is, we all were there at one point. And even myself, I've been a Christian since I've been a child. I mean, my family, we went to church every single week. We were a Christian family, but I have to be honest, we definitely were, the Bible would call it hypocrites. And there's a lot of them out there that are. And I'm not judging any of them. I'm just trying to say that you can't find Jesus through other people, and you can't find Jesus without going through your process. To get there is a process. There's no other way around it. So for instance, I thought my whole life that like my family's prayers, my nanny's prayers, my mom's prayers would get me through things. But what I didn't understand is God wanted me. He doesn't want you to rely on your family to get through situations, or people that you know that are Christians. Oh, pray for me. Yeah, it's great for them to pray for you, but He wants that relationship with you. So usually when everything crumbles before us, and trust me, I'll get into my story one day, but when all hell breaks loose in your life, it's usually because He was calling you way before everything crumbled in your life, but you were ignoring the call. Like it says in the Bible, many are called, okay, but few are chosen. So what that means is He calls so many people, but you have to take the call and you got to do the work. And it's not easy, and it's definitely a process. Like each test that I had, maybe one of them would be 9 months, or another time maybe a couple months, maybe a week in my life. But the older that you get and the more you keep growing with God, He has purpose for every single one of us. Don't let anybody misguide you with that. We all have purpose. So He's gonna get us there. He's gonna get us to our purpose. It's a process, so you might as well surrender to it now. And trust me, when people are hurting you and you're going through the ringer, His peace is going to comfort you like you wouldn't even believe. You need that peace. So I'm all over the place with this, but I guess what I want to say is commit to the process. Commit to it. There's so much to it, but He's going to teach you as needed. Like when I look back at like a year ago where I was at opposed to now, I can't even believe the progress, because what I thought I was doing that was right wasn't even right. He's delivered me in 4 years from so many things that I thought I'd never be free from. I can't even believe. And the old life that you once used to live will actually disgust you. I mean, like, and I don't even care. Like, if people don't want to be around me because this is the new me, then that's just the way that it is. Jesus is my best friend. And you'll get there too. But you have to commit to the process. You got to commit to it. The best thing that I recommend to so many people is get on your knees and pour your heart out to Him. He wants you to. He wants you to. Tell Him exactly what's on your mind and how you feel. You don't have to be ashamed. Just this morning when I was in the shower, I was crying to him because, see, you have to. And one thing, I don't want to hear from anybody. Now, I haven't been through everything, but I've been through so much in 4 years that people will tell me, like, constantly, they don't even know how that I'm still going. You should see, when we had a lot of death in our family, how many people would say to us, like, you know, they thought almost that we were going to turn from God. But what they don't understand is, what other choice do you have? We all have to die. And it may have knocked me on my, like, I don't even know how to even explain it, okay? It was like, I heard somebody say this. I'll try to compare it to like this. What I went through was almost like being thrown to the ground and literally kicked in the chest while I was already suffering. I mean, I couldn't even believe it. It was enough to kill you, to literally kill you. But we have to stop blaming God for things because it's not God. The things we go through, first, let me tell you, is our sin, okay? It says in the Bible that the consequences to sin is death, okay? So if you're out, you know, doing all kinds of sinful things, which I was one of them, and we may think that we're not that bad of a person, which I didn't think I was, but there were so many things that I was not doing that was right at all. And what the Bible stands for is biblical instructions before leaving the earth. So he knows what our decisions will lead to. So we have to understand that he's not trying to be a, what's the word for it? Mean God that doesn't want us to enjoy our life, like some people might say. It's because he knows the consequences to things. Like, for instance, if you have premarital sex, what if, like, for instance, women out there, you're going and you're having sex with this guy that you really love or care about, whatever the case is, but men don't even perceive sex the way we do. They don't. They don't. We are designed to love when we give our body to somebody, and it's like so much different for us than it is for men. Men can have sex like changing their underwear. And if you don't believe me, watch men on there that are doctors and psychologists and everything. They'll explain that. But if you want help on how to understand the differences between men and women, I definitely suggest you read this book. It's called Love and Respect by Dr. Emerson Eggerichs, I believe. Very well written. He explains the differences between men and women and how he's helped so many marriages and everything out there. Because once you understand that, it'll be so much easier to understand. But to get back to what I was saying was, when you have premarital sex, you're either one, going to get hurt because you're doing something that was never designed. It was meant for husband and wife, okay, to repopulate the earth and to have children and to show each other love through that. But when you're doing that, you can get pregnant to somebody that maybe doesn't want anything to do with you or the baby, or you're letting yourself get hurt for no reason. We weren't meant to be like that. We have to follow the rules because there are consequences. And then when we do sin and our life gets into shambles, we can't say, you know, it's God's fault. He warned us. But also what I want to say is, I'm sorry that if this is all over the place, I apologize. I'm still trying to get the hang of doing YouTube. So God has called me to evangelize, and that's what I'm doing. And he also has blessed me with spiritual gifts like everybody else. And if you want to know what your spiritual gift is, I suggest you spend tons of time with him, and over time he will reveal your purpose to you. It's a process, like I said. But my spiritual gift is, for right now, evangelizing and ministering to people. It's the same thing. and the spirit of counsel, which would fall under wisdom and knowledge. And that's what I'm doing. I'm being obedient to the Lord. So if this doesn't make much sense to you, if it's all over the place, I really apologize. I'm just trying to be obedient to the Lord and help somebody out there. I don't know who's out there that needs some type of encouragement today, but I hope this helped somebody. Anyways, if you guys are seeing my videos, leave a comment, tell me what you think, ask me what topic you want to talk about. But to sum up this video for today, I want to just tell you that God is definitely near to you. And in Proverbs, it goes on to say that he is near to the brokenhearted and those crushed in spirit. So when you're brokenhearted, he is closer to you than he ever will be. So what to do is spend some time with him. Get to know him. Tell him what you think. I'm telling you, you know, I'm going to tell you something that he did that just was amazing. It was when I was at my absolute lowest. And that's why nobody could tell me that he doesn't exist. Nobody could tell me any of that. I've known his existence way farther beyond that, but I'm telling you that nobody could tell me. Nobody. I was laying in bed one day. I was laying on my left side. And I was so brokenhearted, and I was just crying out to him one day. And it was kind of like maybe I was in the stage where maybe some of you are at, where you know God, you believe in God, you love him, you're starting to see his presence, all of that. But you just don't know where to go. Like, you don't know where you're headed. You don't know what to do. You don't know how to act, any of it. So I was laying in bed, and I was basically up for the day. I was getting ready to take care of my son, get him something to eat for breakfast. And I was laying on my left side, and I had a pillow that was next to me. And it was like the decorative pillow. I like was sleeping next to it. And I seen, I mean, this is only something that he could have done. I seen Jesus's face. Like, he had on one of those, I don't know what you call those, like the cape over his head, but it was in the pillow. And literally, it was the most amazing thing I ever seen. And it was almost like, at that moment, like, it was magic when it's not even magic. It was just where I knew that it was him. And I just kept staring at it. I was amazed with it. And long story short, I couldn't take my eyes off of it. It was just so amazing. And I just kept staring at it, and it was there. And all of a sudden, it just gradually disappeared. But the moral to the story is, you got to ask God for an encounter like that. Because see, when you get something like that, nobody can change your mind. Nobody. Anyways, guys, spend some time with him. Ask him for that encounter. And don't just, what's the word for it? Give up. You got to keep asking. Like it says in Hebrews, come boldly with confidence. You got to ask him what you want. You got to ask him what he wants of you. Ask him to show you your heart, what needs worked on. He's so merciful. He's so forgiving. Whatever you've done, none of it is too bad that you can't be forgiven. So repent today and put Jesus first place in your life, and watch things turn around. All right, guys, I will see you in my next video. Have a great day. Bye.